This episode has been brought to you by DistroKid.
Sunday!
Well, really, any day of the week, actually.
We're here at Municipal Auditorium to see your music on Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Pandora, Amazon, Instagram, YouTube Tidal, and more, all in one place. Who could possibly make all these powerhouses come together? That's right, the one, the only DistroKid.
DistroKid, more like distro grown-up.
If you want your music to find a global audience, don't sleep on DistroKid. Pay just $22.99 to upload unlimited albums and songs for a year. That's only the cost of a nosebleed ticket with the experience of sitting ringside.
You can hear the sheer value from here.
Oh wow, who is that? DistroKid's Hyperfollow has entered the ring. Is there anyone more powerful than Hyperfollow to help you amass a larger audience? More followers, a larger audience, and more data all included.
Whoa, Marty, what a treat for us tonight.
That's right, Bob. DistroKid sure has given us a lot to be excited about tonight. If you've got music that people need to hear, click that link in the description and keep the good times rolling with DistroKid.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I'm going to show you in a quicker way to play up and down the neck than learning 5 pentatonic pattern shapes. Not that that's bad to learn, but I think you should do this first, which is just 2 devices that will get you playing basically the entire neck if you get it down. So I'm going to show it to you right now. Also, I can get much more in depth on this stuff over at my website, martymusic.com. In fact, when you sign my newsletter, check out that link down in the description. When you sign my newsletter over there, I'll send you some free courses. I even do have a free course that's the 5 shapes of the pentatonic scale. But I recommend doing this first. All right, I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. All right, this is my concept on the quickest way to be able to play the pentatonic scale up and down the neck. There's 5 patterns or shapes that you eventually will want to memorize, but if you do this first, you'll be soloing better and quicker than memorizing 5 shapes. And I'm not saying don't learn those 5 shapes, but do this first if you're just trying to solo and get better at soloing, blues, rock. Learn it this way first. So I'll do more than one key, but I'll start with the A minor pentatonic because it starts right in the middle of the neck. So you've got this home row position is what I call it. I didn't come up with that term, but the first position, home row, whatever. It's the minor pentatonic where you find the root on the E string. So if it's the A minor pentatonic, we find the A note on the E string. So you want to learn this first. This is the predominant scale for soloing. You'll hear Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix stay in this spot, 90% of the time. So getting better at this as opposed to spending a lot of time memorizing a bunch of shapes first, you'll get to soloing quicker by working on and getting some licks down in this one. So the basic scale is the root on the 5th fret E string, and you have 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, and 5, 8. And then backwards, 8, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5. Lots of licks, amazing, classic rock stuff in there. That was all just those 5 notes of that pentatonic scale. So you want to get that down. Then what you want to do is from there, learn the extension that's a little bit below it, which now is one of the other patterns, but instead of learning it as a new pattern, we're learning it as an extension below as part of still that same scale. right? So you get that scale down really good, then you just learn a little bit right here and a little bit right there, and you're immediately now playing not just across, but kind of diagonally up and down and across. And so the roots are the same, but you would learn this. Put your third finger there and know that you have these two notes below it, 3-5 and 3-5. And when you get to that A string, you slide into that home row. 3-5, 3-5, slide to 7. And now you're in the home row again. So you can still go, but you also now can go two new options, or a new option, 2 options in that spot. And so when you get to that 7th fret G string, you slide that up a whole step to 9. And then there's a little finger change that is one of the first little tricky things that you want to pay attention to with this extended scale. So now my 3rd finger is on the 9th fret G, and then I go to 8 to 10 on the B, and then 8 to 10 on the high E, and switch to the 3rd finger onto that 9 like this. And when you get to that 10th fret high E, you can slide that up a whole step to 12. So if you look, just that one device now, instead of thinking of it as 3 different devices, it's just one run, one extension of that same home row minor pentatonic. Look at how much ground I've covered on the neck. I'm down at the 3rd fret low E all the way up to the 12th fret high E now. Look at how much that is right there. It's almost the whole neck with one device. I've told students over and over, probably thousands of times, that you want to practice this run. And when you're practicing it, you want to just use your index and 3rd finger only and slide with that 3rd finger. Okay, so that's based off the E root. So it's the minor pentatonic with the E root and its extension, or the extended scale of that, right? So then the other one is learning the A root minor pentatonic position, and that's extension above and below. And now you've actually covered the entire fretboard, 2 devices instead of 5 separate shapes to memorize. And also this is a lot more useful for improvising and playing blues solos. So now, if I want to play the A minor pentatonic with the root on the A string, that means I got to go either open A or the 12th fret. I'm going to do the 12th fret because it's a movable position, as opposed to the open position has got its own unique little features. So 12th fret is our root on the A string. And so I'm going to go 12 to 15, 12 to 14, 12 to 14 on the G, so that was all the same thing, but in a different position. 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14. And now, with this shape, I gotta do a little weird thing with my fingers because it's now 13, 15 on the B string. And if I'm just practicing the scale, I'm gonna use my middle finger and pinky. But there will be times where you'll switch to index and third finger. So there's going to be different approaches there. But to just first learn the scale, keep your hand in one position and play 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, and then on the high E, 12, 15. So if the high E is 12-15, then the low E is 12-15. It's just that the root is on the A string there. So then that's got its own extension. And what's great about that is it ends on the E root again. I'll show you what I mean. Put your third finger on the root. So we're playing the A minor pentatonic to remind you. So 12th fret A string. But now we have this whole little box right here. 10, 12 on the E. 10, 12 on the A. And then 10, 12 on the D. That's the root, but... And then we're sliding 12 to 14 on the D string. So when I slide from 12 to 14 with my third finger, I'm now in that A root position I showed you. But now, to extend above, this is one of those instances where we're going to change our fingering. We're going to do index on the 13 to third finger on the 15 and slide that up to 17. And then 15, 17 on the high E. And what's cool about that is I'm now on the E root of A minor pentatonic, or A. That's an A note right there. So then I can switch to my index finger and I have the home row, first position again, an octave up. And that's extension. Running out of room there. But so here's what that looks like. The 10, 12, 10, 12, that's the root. 10, 12, slide to 14, 12, 14. But now index on 13, third on 15, third finger on, slide that up to 17. And then 15, 17 on the high E. Backwards. And so now I have covered this all the way to that, almost the entire neck with two devices, the E root pentatonic and its extensions, the A root pentatonic and its extensions. And that's how you do it. Let me do the key of G just to look at a different spot. So G is right here on the 3rd fret E string. So I have the home row for G. The extended scale would be 1, 3, and then same on the A string, 1, 3, slide to 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, and 3, 6. But the extension up would be 3rd finger on the 5th fret G string, slid up to 7. And then 6, 8 on the B, and then 6, 8 on the high E, and slide that up to 10. Okay, so now let's play the G minor pentatonic with the root on the A string. G is on the 10th fret of the A string. So here are the G's. Just to prove my point, so that's 10th fret A, 10 to 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 11 to 13, 10, 13. And then you'd also have 10, 13 on the low E. But now the extension for that would be 8, 10 on the E, 8, 10 here, same thing on the D, slide up to 12, and then 10, 12 on the G. Now, since I'm extending up, index on 11, 3rd finger on 13, slide up to 15, and then 13, 15 on the high E. And now I'm at the G note on the high E again. So I hope that's some food for thought. All right, hope you guys dug that. Thank you again for hanging out. Have fun with that concept. Also, don't forget to check out that link down in the description. Sign my newsletter over at martymusic.com, and I'll send you some free courses that will complement this lesson beautifully, I promise. And also, when you go to martymusic.com, if you check out the store, there's a free course on the 5 shapes of the pentatonic scale if you wanted to get that down. So thanks for supporting, watching, and hopefully jamming, having some fun. Can't wait to see you again. Take care.